Singapore's newest HDB housing estate will spring up in Mount Pleasant at the site of the old Police Academy, with the first BTO project there set to launch within the next 5 years. Now, the area is 33 hectares and will provide around 5,000 new homes. As you can see by the blue dotted lines, the estate is bounded by Thomson Road and the PIE, with the upcoming Mount Pleasant MRT station somewhere in the middle. Because the site includes the historic Old Police Academy, several of its buildings will be retained, and an environmental impact study was carried out in the wider area as well. To share more are my colleagues Michelle Ng, who covers housing, and Keng, who reports on heritage matters. Michelle, let's start with you. Now, this sounds like a huge development, 33 hectares, 5,000 new homes. Aside from size, what is the significance of this estate?
Well, the significance of this estate is that it is, well, first of all, it is a new estate. So the last time we had a new estate was Bidadari, and I guess Tengah is considered a new town. Obviously, Tengah is like way larger than this. We're talking like 700 hectares. So for this Mount Pleasant, it's about 33 hectares, which is about a third of the size of Bidadari. And the significance of this project is that it is a brownfield site, meaning they are taking a piece of land that already has developments on it to recycle it and to turn it into a residential area. So the police academy itself is quite a recognizable landmark, having been around since the 1920s and was in use for about 80 years. So I think it's nice that the new housing estate will pay homage to the police life and the police heritage. So it's not just about mitigating the environment, but they will also keep elements of, you know, the heritage and culture that comes along with it. And of course, this comes against the backdrop of rising demand for BTO flats. So this Mount Pleasant site is going to be a mature area site because it's very near Toa Payoh and Novena area. And we all know that mature area BTO flats are very, very popular.
That's right. Well, Keng, Michelle already brought up, the old police academy, as well as, the pre-war black and white bungalow. So a very heritage-rich area that this estate will be in. So Keng, we understand a heritage study was done. What were the key findings, and what are the preservation plans for the area?
Hi, Olivia. So you're right. Yeah, a heritage study was done. In total, about 50, or rather specifically 48 buildings were looked at. And what happened here was that those who were carrying out the study had to weigh the heritage value of each of the buildings against each other to decide what's retained. In the end, about 9 buildings and areas were deemed to be most significant. So these included 5 blocks, as well as an old drill training shed, a swimming pool, a parade square, and a recreation field. And of these, the 5 blocks, as well as 1 extra block, so this is a senior police officer's mess, they will be proposed for conservation.
Right. Well, Keng, the area also has vegetation, flora, fauna, and so on. So what is the environmental impact that this development will have?
Well, the environmental impact of the development remains to be seen, but I think what is significant now is the impact that the authorities are really preempting and hoping to avoid. So there were 2 key decisions that were made based on an environmental study that was carried out. The first involves realigning a road. So this road was initially to grant access to the new estate through the PIE, and the original alignment would have run through Kopi Swa Cemetery, which is rich in greenery and obviously provides a good homes for some of the animal species. So based on the environmental study, in consultation with environmental groups, for the new housing estate to be accessed at a point that is much closer, rather than going through the cemetery. So this would save homes for a lot of the species in the area. So the second decision that they have made is to fully retain 2 streams and to partially retain a third stream. So about 30% of this third stream is going to be retained, and they decided to go with this 30% that is to have more rich biodiversity. So it includes species that are of conservation significance, like a dragonfly species. So this is the collared threadtail. And whereas the 70% that they're not retaining has no conservation significance. And I think this shows then in terms of weighing balances, the homework has been done in terms of environmental studies.
I see. Well, Michelle, to round up the discussion, with this Mount Pleasant housing estate close to places like Balestier and Novena, and you mentioned Toa Payoh as well, do you think that flats there would fall under the new prime location public housing model?
Well, actually, the authorities are not saying at the moment. So, but even if it falls under this prime location public housing model, we will only know when the first BTO project is launched. But seeing that it's close to Toa Payoh town, which HDB has previously said that it's not considered a prime location housing model, but it's also close to Novena as well, like you said. But who knows? At the same time, this is only going to be launched within the next 5 years. So, it could or could not be. We really have no idea about that.